So while Darwin's is the most famous figure associated with the theory of evolution, Alfred Russel Wallace played a key part and deserves huge credit, both for his ideas and for his enormous effort. Now, Wallace's story is more dramatic because Wallace, after 4 years in the Amazon, really at the breaking point, decided to return to England with specimens and whatever ideas he had collected. And on his way home, his ship caught fire. He had to get into a lifeboat. The ship sank right in front of him with all of his specimens. And he was in an open lifeboat for 10 days, hoping to be picked up. And he was picked up, eventually made his way back to England. You'd think after that experience, he would have sworn off all voyaging. But 2 years later, he goes back out and does an 8-year voyage across the Malay Archipelago and collects tens of thousands of more specimens. And that becomes the foundation for his ideas. So Wallace, by 1858, has a pretty good idea that life evolves. And he writes up a very short account of his thinking about how that works. And he decides to send it to the one naturalist with whom he struck up a correspondence who he thinks might appreciate it. He sends it to Charles Darwin. Well, this event rocks Darwin because Darwin has not gone public with his theory of evolution. And now here's this faraway correspondent, 7,000 miles away from England, who in just a few pages has essentially the same idea that Darwin has. And what's uncanny is when you look at the writings of each of these individuals, Darwin's notebooks, Wallace's draft manuscript, they describe life as, quote, a struggle for existence. Exactly the same words, unbeknownst to each other. And in their day, this was referred to as the Darwin-Wallace theory. It's only later that biologists and historians just started kind of forgetting about Wallace and crediting Darwin. Now, there might be reasons for that. Darwin came from a wealthy family. The University of Cambridge did a great job at sort of amassing Darwin's collections and Darwin's writings. And so we just have a better historical record of everything that Darwin did. But at the time, it was the Darwin-Wallace theory. And I think by today's scientific standards, given the genesis of this theory, the theory certainly of natural selection by the two individuals, we would be crediting both of them.